Okay, there was a point to the song. Now, I know that this is spreading magic into your souls when it's just the Believe community having a chat and seeing how we're all getting on, moving our businesses forward, or if we've even started them as yet. But obviously, I want to give you a little bit of help and guidance as we go through on these calls. So I'll always start off with something. And in the personal development world, we are told we have shadows. And it's quite a horrible word when you think about it. It actually gives us lots of limiting beliefs and patterns. Who agrees with it? As soon as you say the word shadows, what are your shadows? It's like, ugh. So there's nowhere to hide from our shadows, because I don't actually call them shadows. I call them our little gifts of understanding. Because if you go towards human design, which you know that I am linking into Michelle and the Divine Portal and where we're heading, helping people like yourselves, leaders, grow in confidence and get your businesses off the ground to give you purpose, vision, purpose, direction. And human design with myself works really well. What I don't want you to do is you've come into this group not to learn human design. You've come into this group to create your businesses, to move forward with your businesses, and to get an income out of your businesses. I gather that's what you want. To get the income, we obviously need to add value. I'm just looking on the Facebook group just to make sure no one's trying to get in. So I personally invite you not to take a deep dive into human design, because your head will go crazy. The information I give you will be enough for you to move forward in this group. So your shadows, and hence I hope that you all downloaded your report and you've got that with you today. Okay, so we all have energy, and our shadows, or what they call our shadows, aren't actually shadows. Now, we all have limiting beliefs, we all have traumas, we all have stories we like to keep going on and on and on. And I know everyone sitting in this call has got the toolbox to get over those and should be well on their way to working out what those part of your limiting beliefs, and if you want to call them shadows, shadows are. But the centers that we call shadows aren't shadows, because they are where I will be looking at my notes because this is so much information for me to lead on with you. So it means that the center does not have any consistent or fixed way of operating within you. So it means two centers aren't linked together some way, so that they are open to other people's energies. So as soon as you know that, all of you that are walking around with a lot of self-doubt, a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of emotional patterns, you could blame the hubby, you could blame the daughter, you could blame the son or the wife, because there's a good chance that you might be sucking in some of their energy, and that's how it works. And you can gain influence and experiences from that. So where we say they're our shadows, if we actually reframe how we think about these so-called shadows, gifts of understanding, then we can reframe them. Just inviting Chris in. Bear with me. Hi, Chris. I'm just talking about shadows in our centers that aren't quite shadows. They are our gifts of understanding. Because if we reframe those so-called shadows, we can look at them in a totally different way. Because we don't know if they're coming from us or somebody close to us. Or you might take yourself off to the library and gain some for example, you could go to the library feeling completely amazing and walk out of there with the mood on, self-doubt, and there's a potential you've picked that up from somebody else. So when I talk about your authority, that is another subject, but that's when you start tuning into your body. You will know it as a splenic, emotional, sacral energy that you feel into. So that's the nod, or a deep knowing, or that gut feeling. Okay, so having these open centers, our gifts of understanding, they allow us flexibility and adaptability to understand and amplify other people's energies if we want to. So they are gifts. They are gifts of understanding if we reframe them to be like that. They're great for gaining wisdom and understanding other people's experiences, and it's learning to differentiate between what energies are yours and which ones are coming from an internal or external environment. Sorry. Okay, so emotions is an easy one to go by. So when you are emotional, if you have I will bring a sheet up to show you the centers in a moment, but if you have an open or undefined will center, no, solar plexus, sorry, you are picking up people's emotions around you. So I have in my house 4 people that have closed centers. So all of their emotion, and I've got an open one. So any of their emotions that they are feeling that day, I could be having a great day. My daughter could walk through the door and my mood changes to her mood. Plus it amplifies, because if you've got an open center, you amplify it. Okay, is everyone understanding this? Perfect. So I'm just going to bring up my... Nice to see you on the call, Linda. Feel free to put on your video if you can. So I'm going to just share my screen. Okay, just so that you know, this is my graph. So this is all we're going to concentrate on today. Don't look at the numbers. Don't try and understand any of the numbers. They do not relate to you at the moment. Okay, what we're looking at is whether you have a coloured in centre or a white centre. Just checking that that's how they come up on your graphs when I showed you your graphs. Are they white? White and cream? Anyone nod or open your mic? Yeah, white and cream. So the cream ones are your closed centers. They're your defined. That's what you can call your energy. Okay. If you have a white center, they are your open centers. This is where today's call could make you start thinking, oh, I now don't think that's my emotion. I was on a call with somebody this week. Sorry, I went to visit actually somebody this week. And they have been having a horrendous time at work. And hold on, I'm bringing up the chat. I have to bring this up. I cannot see the graph changed view. Oh, can you see it now, Chris? Chris, thumbs up. Can you see it?
Don't, just carry on and I'll catch you. Sorry, right. I think it's my Zoom.
Okay, open your graph that you've got. You should have your own graph, body graph. You've had a soul's purpose.
No, okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, download that. If not, you have to go back into the link, because this is really important for you, Chris. Okay, so where was I? So all the open centers are either yours or you are amplifying somebody around you energy. And this lady I had, it wasn't until I started speaking to her, she realized the months of pain she was having at work were actually coming from her bosses. Self-doubt, self-worth, which is this center here, which I will go through with you in a moment. So it was a true light bulb moment that she was having the most horrendous 6 months, 6 weeks, or however many, I can't remember now. And that was the reason for it. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now. Oh, you can make a note actually while I go down. Chris, did you manage to get your chart yet? Right. Bear with me, Chris.
No, don't distract everyone else. Sorry.
Chris,
I've got, yeah.
listen, we're all high consciousness here.
I
We're
know.
not going to be worried about distracting. It's going to take me a few seconds to screenshot it and send it over to you.
Thank you.
Just bear with me. It's okay. If you talk like that, you'll start panicking me, and then it will take.
No, we're calm. We're calm.
And then it will take forever. Right. Come on.
If you find Stacey's, that'd be helpful as well, please. Thank you. She's having a good look around.
What you want, Stacey's?
No, Stacey wants Stacey's. I'll swap. Behave, Chris. Right, I'm going on mute. Zup.
Right. Bear with me. Facebook. Right. I've got so many screens open on my other laptop. Right, where are you gone? Sorry, everybody. I don't want somebody to go without. Right, Chris on Facebook Messenger. It's coming across to you now. And Stacey, do you still need yours? Can you open your mic for me so I can hear?
Sorry. Yes, I did mine when I was home and I can't, it's missing off my system. So sorry.
Okay. Stacey. And has everybody got theirs? Everyone else? I don't want to send you Chris's. Bear with me.
Thank you.
Have you got yours, Chris?
I've got the one you've just sent me. Thank you.
Okay. There we go. There's yours, Stacey. You should have it come through on Messenger. Okay. Are we all good? Okay, so the blue coloured on my chart, it's, so don't worry about the lines if you're talking about the lines, Heidi. If we are just literally talking about the body graft itself, the blue, which yours is like a cream coloured, the coloured in one, yeah? You have a coloured in section. Unmute, please, Heidi.
Sorry, I'm here typing. No, so I can see on my graph, what's blue on yours is green on mine. And then what you have like an orange color, I have like a cream color, and then it's the whites.
Did you download this from me?
Yeah, this was in the PDF that was generated then.
I'm trying to find you. Heidi.
Want me to screenshot it to you?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I can't see. Here, I've got you. Usually the plain ones, I thought I'd done it as a cream. No,
Hang on a sec. Can I post it in the chat?
Yeah, if you don't mind people seeing yours.
I don't think I have any secrets.
I've got it coming up now anyway.
Yeah.
Right, yours are, do you know what?
Hmm.
You're actually being very clever there, because
Yeah.
I don't know why it's done that. Has everyone else got green and beige? Yeah? Oh, you got all green?
I've got blue and orange. So blue is design, orange is
No,
personality.
you have white ones. The white ones are your undefined, Heidi.
Okay.
Your white ones
Okay.
are undefined. So center,
So
heart, center, spleen, and root. Height. Yeah. So the white
oh,
ones, don't worry, just class all the others as coloured. They are your closed centres, your defined centres. The white ones are your undefined, your open centres.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And that
Yeah.
goes for everyone else that downloaded that graph. The white ones are your open ones.
And the green one are the closed ones.
The green and the green and the cream ones, or peachy ones, are your closed. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So this top center, if you all want to label as your crown, the second one down, so it's your crown. If you look at me,
Yep.
your ajna, which is here.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Yes.
ajna, crown, ajna. I'm going mental now.
Yes.
Throat. So my throat is open. My crown is closed. My ajna is closed, and my throat is open. Then you have your G center, which is the middle one. And if we continue down, we have your sacral. So make notes of these, even if they're closed.
Mhm.
Then we have the bottom one, which is your root. And then we have your spleen, which is here, which mine is closed. And then here we have what we call your heart or will center.
Mhm.
And then your solar plexus. So Heidi, for instance, your will center, the small one.
Yeah.
Your root center, the bottom one. And the one on the left, well, your left, this one here,
Mm.
that is also, that's your spleen, which is also an open center. So you have 3. Okay, that does that bit out the way. Is everyone clear? Does everyone understand which ones are open and closed? I can look at your charts on my computer if not. Okay. So we are just going to go through your open centers. And as I say, they're your gifts, but you will hold a shadow, which is where you can be amplifying somebody else's. So I am going to ask you if you have an undefined head, which is the top one. Is that white in colour? Put your hands up. Who's got that? Okay, right. So 70% of people have an undefined head centre. I've not. Mine is closed. This is the centre of inspiration and mental pressure. Okay, so your shadows in this centre, you pressure to gather information, pressure to get inspired from outside sources. Yep. Yes, head in. Oh, you're frozen, head in. Oh, he's out. He should come back in a moment. So it's a constant pressure that's coming down and it's got nowhere to go. So you will constantly feel pressured. and you'll want to be inspired. You'll try and find inspiration from outside sources, nature, books, other people. You'll consistently be trying to gather and have the pressure of trying to get information. Pressure to be inspiring. You want to be inspired and you feel pressured to be inspiring. You're obsessed with details of knowing the ins and outs of everything. Oh, how many people say that's like a left brain? Now, remember, these could be the shadows of somebody else. This is where you start recognizing if it's yours. So those of you that have been through Finding Your Soul's Purpose call, and you know what your authorities are, for instance, where you're looking at that instinct, that gut feeling, like Nancy with you, you know that you start nodding like you're doing now. It's very funny. Nancy nods as soon as she agrees with something. She's like this all the time. It's about tuning into that, okay, that energy, which you will have, that may come on a future post if you haven't been told that anyway. But you don't need to know too much. You all know how to tune into your bodies. This is about energy. This is about pushing energy around your body and knowing if it's coming for you, and knowing if you're having that constant pressure. If something's going on at the moment, you may have a child that's going through education exams at the moment and they're feeling that constant pressure, and you're just going to amplify that. So just be mindful of this, and it's really good because you can start reframing things. When you are in the highest frequency of this shadow, you are able to turn on the pressure when you need to turn it on. You start to realize when it becomes your pressure, and when you don't need it, that you can sit there with a peace of mind, that it's not your time, you don't need, it's your head's telling you, well, you want this pressure, and you don't need to constantly have that coming into you. Does that make sense? Yep. Henning, did you have a question on that last bit before you dropped out?
No, just a undefined crown.
You're a defined crown. Yep, that's fine. So this one's okay. You may notice some information in here. The people that have got defined of these centers and they're saying, well, that feels like me, it's probably because you're living in your shadow and you're not aligned. Okay, so try to remember that as well. If you go, oh, but that's me, that's because you're not living in your highest frequency of your defined, which we will talk about at another time. So we're going to move on to the ajna, which is 50% of people, and it's about processing thoughts and ideas. So your crown is inspiration. Your undefined ajna, your ajna in general, is processing thoughts and ideas. It's where you process your thoughts and any ideas. Who has that undefined? Okay, another one that I've got defined. Okay, so the shadow of this, you can see many perspectives, lots of things, lots of different ways of doing things, but it brings you uncertainty. You'll constantly crave for certainty. Okay, if you can't reach certainty, you start to pretend you're certain to people. So you'll start going, no, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm certain, even you don't, because that's just a shadow of yourself. You try that, and then your self-worth comes in. Okay, your highest frequency of this is saying to yourself, there is nothing I need to know right now. Anything I need to come to me to know will come to me when the time is right. So the more you're trying to crave it, seek it, And the more you're gaining uncertainty, the more that's not going to allow that frequency and that energy to flow to come to you naturally. And it's all about mental relaxation. That's when you're in your highest frequency. Okay? Undefined throat. This is communication, and 40% of you have an undefined throat. I have an undefined throat. You'll find the people with the undefined throat. Who has got an undefined throat here? That makes quite a lot of sense. Because if you know Chris and you know me, we talk a lot. And we go off and tell lots of different stories, and we might have a certain subject, then we wander off and talk about something else in our heads, and then we'll come back, and we like to tell stories. Now, the shadow for us, Chris, is we feel pressure to speak when there's nothing to say. So we're terrible when it's silent. When there's silence, if we live in our shadow, see, I've gone more aligned with this. They still do it, but when it's silence, we have to crack a joke or do something that you might recognize this in some of your partners. If you know your partners are like got what I call verbal diarrhea, this could be an open throat. We like to try and get attention if we feel unheard, which a lot of the time we do feel unheard because we butt in and speak when we shouldn't speak. So yeah, so I laugh because it does feel a lot like me, and we feel the pressure to be heard, and we speak when we've got really not a lot to say. So we need to go into our highest frequency is to sit back and know when the time is right to talk, to sit and think less is more. Silence is golden, but not to the extreme, because what's happening is we're probably missing out on a lot of stuff by interrupting, because people won't hear us anyway if we do that. So that's amazing, isn't it? Was that a less one? 40%. That's why it's a lesser amount of people. So the undefined identity, which is the G center, 65% have an undefined. This is direction in life and self-identity, which is a big one for people. Who has got this undefined? Just Nancy. Okay, me and you then, Nancy. If we are living in our shadow, we inconsistently trust in life. We're unsure of our identity, and we're always, and until we know our soul's purpose, we are always switching up what that is. We're always looking for love and direction, and inconsistently trust that we know what our purpose is, which is what I've just said. In our highest frequency, we express unique direction, and we have the ability to adapt to various environments, embracing others without losing ourselves. Okay, because what we'll do, if one of these on this call is heading off in a direction, if we aren't sitting at our highest frequency, we'll feel that that's where we need to go. Now, a lot of you that are sitting on this call may be sitting with shadows in the defined centers. If you don't know your direction and you're not consistent, it's because you are sitting in your lowest frequency and you need to become more in line with that. But again, that's not to know at this point. Okay, undefined heart will center. 70% of us have this. I have an undefined heart. Yeah. So if you have this with the solar plexus undefined, who has this with the undefined solar plexus, two together?
Mm-hmm.
I have that. Chris, are you saying you don't know?
no idea what I saw.
It's a
I know.
dip.
Okay.
I missed that. I missed that class. Sorry.
Okay, so Chris,
So,
let in the chat, if you go to Heidi's, you'll see
yeah,
a tiny little triangle.
yeah. Is that my
That one,
heart? That's my heart. Yeah.
is your heart, and the one next to it, the far side, yep, is your solar plexus.
Okay. Yeah, it's undefined. Thank you.
I know yours is. I've been looking at it very closely today.
Yeah.
So if we have, so who has both of those out of interest before I carry on? Who has both of those open?
I
Three.
do, but Michelle, what is the difference between the green and the cream colored? Is there a difference?
No, that is just the chart has thrown that out with your subconscious. I think that's it. It's done it as your conscious and your it's a different part of the chart. So don't worry, they're all closed.
Okay,
So is
thank
yours
you.
white, Sharon?
I'm on a green.
So both of yours are green.
Yes,
So you don't have them open. It's only the white ones that are your open ones that we're
right.
talking about today. So this is only me and Chris, was it? So Chris, me and you, okay? Do you remember what I said on a conversation today about who walks with people? This is another reason. So if you have both undefined, it's quite a hard job to get out of the shadows. It's a bit of an arse to have them both undefined because you are struggling. But they are, remember, Chris, before you got on the call, I said that they're your gifts of understanding, because once you understand that a lot of this is about you sucking in everybody's energy around you and you're tenfolding it. So you're amplifying it. So everyone on this call, all your open centers are amplified by other people around you. Okay, so when we have got those two open together, because they work quite closely to each other, we've got to try and work out what are other people's, and most of the time they're other people's because we've amplified them. And this is the beauty, because you'll start to learn what's yours and what isn't yours. Okay, so the undefined heart will center is where your willpower and determination and ego lies. So you sometimes battle with willpower, determination, and your ego likes to step up. So who actually does have an undefined heart here? So most people on the call. Oh, yours are green, Sharon. Green or white? You don't know. Let me open a chart, because I've had you on a soul's purpose call. Bear with me. This is why I said get your charts ready.
I have the one on my phone, but I don't know if it's the same one. I was trying to find the one that you had sent me and I couldn't find it, so I just quickly did it again.
Right, Sharon, your crown, ajna, throat. So
Right.
you do like to tell a story and wander off. And your G center are all open. So the top four running down are open. They are all white. The others are green or peachy color. Yes.
Okay, so it's not the same as what you had originally sent me.
I haven't actually sent you your chart. I've never sent you a chart. You would have downloaded one. When you've done your soul's purpose call, I don't give out charts.
Okay.
So I don't know where you got that from. Was it the one you downloaded?
Okay, so yeah, the one that I downloaded on my phone, it was different than what you're saying.
Unless if you've put different details in when you done that on today's call, it would have thrown out something different, because this is done on the day that you chose to come here.
Right.
So if that's potentially what you've done when you initially gave me all your information, we'll look into that another time.
Okay.
Message me after the call and we'll look into
Okay. Thank you.
I'm just trying to find yours, because what you don't want to do is sit on this call, because you just downloaded it. I looked to see who downloaded theirs.
I may have put the wrong time in.
It does throw the chart out if you have put the wrong time in. Here we go. Sorry, everyone. $9.54 you put in.
That's what I put in.
That's what you put in, but I'll have to look back on the call that you gave me, because if you gave me a different time to 9:54, then your soul's purpose call may be wrong.
Okay.
So we need to look back at that. But
Okay.
were you born at 9:54 on the 17th of January? Beep, 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 beep.
I wasn't sure if it was 9:53 or 9:54, and it didn't ask for AM or PM, which I don't know if it makes a difference.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour, it's an AM, PM dot next to it. It does make a difference. So you've
Oh, I didn't see that.
9:54 AM.
Okay. I have to change that then. I didn't see that, sorry.
Okay, so you might be best to go back over this call, because the other my chart I've got for you, you only have an open head and G center, which is the fourth one down. Everything else is closed.
Okay.
Okay, so keep an idea on that, and we'll look into that for you. But
Okay, thank you.
Put in the same time every time, because your charts are going to throw out all different things every time. Okay, so the shadow of this is inconsistent motivation, inconsistent soul desires, inconsistent self-worth, inconsistent absorbing self-worth as others around you, is uncertain about their value, feels that they always have something to prove. All these are potentials of somebody else, and if they are yours, it's a reframing. You don't have all this self-worth. It's just your energy that we live with it in a different way. Okay, now if you are having this is sometimes from the maternal side, and you're holding on to mothers. So look for any of you that feel these really badly. Look at your mum was like, or is like, and a lot of the time it sometimes comes from the paternal side, but a lot of the time it's the maternal side of the mother. So another way to release. I see some smiles going on. Now, the highest frequency of this is the realization and acceptance that self-worth isn't tied to material success or proving yourself to other people. Okay, that's you in your highest frequency. What we need to realize is here, this isn't a shadow. It's a gift that allows you to see other people's self-worth and learn from them. That's what it's about. So it's a reframing of your mind. Now, the undefined solar plexus, so if you think about that one, and you've also got the undefined solar plexus, that I think it was just me. Who's just got the undefined solar plexus? Is it literally just me and Chris? Yeah. So, Chris, we are sensitive to other people's emotions and we amplify them. We avoid confrontation. We hate upsetting people. We're very empathetic. We take on other people's emotions and create our own stories about our emotions, and they're not our emotions, they're somebody else's. We don't like to feel emotion. It hurts to feel that emotion. So we suppress it, which can lead to addiction, unhealthy habits, and anything to avoid emotions. And we're doing all of this when 90% of the time it's somebody else's emotions.
Mm.
At our highest frequency, we recognize what emotions are ours. So we sit with that. Chris, can you remember by your soul's purpose call whether you are an emotional manifesting? Are you a manifesting generator or generator, was it? You're going to say you can't remember, aren't you?
I'm a generator.
You're a generator. You're a
I didn't know
generator.
there was a. Yeah.
You're sacral. So that gut feeling, if you sit with your gut feeling, when any of these emotions are coming up and you get out of your head and you sit with that feeling of, I know this is the right thing, you'll know whether that emotion is yours or somebody else's. And that's what you've got to learn to do with that part of your energy, is sit with that emotion, which we'll be working together, don't worry. We need to remember to neutralize it and start understanding and empathizing with the emotional ways of other beings without being overwhelmed by them. So everyone on this call, if somebody here is sitting very emotional at the moment and has had a bad day, we will sense it and we will amplify. So that's why I can always work out, and Stacey and Nancy are probably know this, is that I will usually contact them and say, are you okay? And they usually say, you've called me at the right moment, or you've asked me at the right moment, because I have that energy with them, and I have it now that I can do that far away. So that Chris is a good thing to know, isn't it, Chris?
Absolutely.
Doesn't
Absolutely.
that actually make you, he's not looking so sure there, Chris, does it not actually make you feel a little lighter knowing that a lot of the emotions you hold are other people's emotions around you?
It's starting to make sense.
Mm.
So very quickly, is that why if I'm surrounding my people and they're fairly emotional, after a while I have to pull back and reframe and regroup? That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you will become very emotional. So you might cry at stuff that you think, why am I crying?
Supermarket opening? No. So
you
I'm
will,
joking. Sorry,
you will
magician
notice
kicked
that.
in. Sorry.
Okay. So, undefined sacral, who has that? That sits the one from the bottom, so not the very bottom, it's the one above that. Undefined, anyone? No? Have you got, if I was to turn around and say to you, I've raised my hand a lot of the time, you haven't raised your hands, it's because you're attracted to the energy you've not got. That's how it works. So if you have an attraction towards me, it's because there's something in my energy that you lack because your centers are closed and mine's open. It's mine are closed and yours are open. Okay. So 30% of us, is there anyone on this call that's got, was it just me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is life. This is life force and energy, Michelle. Your shadow, you don't know when to stop. You have inconsistency in energy levels, and you know why? This is a projector. I am a projector, and I've not had anyone in my group yet that's come in that's a projector that's done a call. And we are here to guide. That's why we're here. We beam and guide. And we don't have energy from another source where you are all energies and you get your energy from the sun. I get my energy off of you lot. And we are not here to be the life doers. We are here to be the people that sit back on a throne and sort of guide. And that's why we're here. We all have a job, and you know, I always say we all have a job in the world, in the universe, and our job as people with an undefined sacral projectors, we are here to have that guidance. So we can sometimes lead to burnout. I'm quite lucky because I have a defined route, so I don't get a lot of that. My highest frequency is here to be an observer. I have the observer role when I watch you, and I guide, and I have an awareness in my highest frequency. And I'm mindful when I'm overexerting energy, because I can run out of energy very quickly. If I have 2 one-to-one calls, I'm done. Manifesting generators can go on and on and on and on and on, and they just go on forever. So if you're a manager, you have lots of energy. And we're here to give feedback on life. And undefined spleen. Anyone with an undefined spleen? Okay, I have a undefined spleen. I have a defined spleen. 40% of people have undefined. So that's the front one. Yeah. I don't know why I call it the front, because it's just a straight thing. I've always called it the front one. That's because it's there, isn't it? Anyway, it's intuition, survival, and timing. So if you have an undefined spleen, you can sense illness, and you can have that you can sense intuition and illness in others, and that connection and well-being in others, but you have an inconsistency of it within yourself. So you are inconsistently not connected to the well-being of yourself, and you miss your cues and your instincts of when you're not feeling quite right. You're not as in tuned, but you are with other people. Your highest frequency is consciously tuning in every day, scanning your body, aware that you have this inconsistent awareness, and tuning into others to give them the greater good. Undefined root. 45% of us have an undefined root. Who are undefined roots here? Okay, I have a defined root, and a lot of people come to me for my defined root. I find that that's why they're with me. The shadow, this drives stress, pressure, and adrenaline. Okay, so that's the center for that. So if you're undefined, you feel pressured to do things. Even if there's nothing to do, you get up and find something to do. You're constantly feeling the pressure to do something. You find it hard to relax and let go, which gives procrastination. You start to procrastinate about things. You haven't got that consistency, and you can't relax, which then you create stories around all of that. So you will find it hard to meditate, to stay within the silence, and you'll struggle with those side of things. Highest frequency, when you feel the urge to do something, know that it's okay, but have the observation role. So this is a bit like me when I talk about the sacral, where I say I have to sit still and sit on the throne. For you that have the root, you are the same in that role. You're here to observe. You don't have to continue moving. That's not what your role is. You don't have to try and keep up with the closed root people that you see creating all the time. Why are you trying to keep up with those people? You are here to be in that observation role when it comes to pressure, and adrenaline and stress. It's not yours. It's probably a lot of that is the people around you. Okay. And that is all your centers. So is that helpful? Poor Sharon, she's thinking, sitting here going, I'm now not sure which one I am. So I will run your chart again for you, and I'll go back to, if I can find it, I'll go back to your when you set the call up, where you put your date of birth in. I'll see what you put. Okay, and I'll run that again. But can you message me, because it's late and I'll probably do it tomorrow.
Of course, thank you so much.
You are welcome. So this is why it's important for you to know this, because going in towards your businesses, a lot of these gifts of shadows are not actually yours that you're holding on to. So where you're not moving forward in your businesses, it's possibly because you're sitting around somebody else's. And if it's not them and not their energy, you need to reframe this, because they are your gifts. You can gain inspiration and ideas off of people that do sit with those closed centers. But you need to learn to listen to your body and your signs and your knowing. So this again is why I talk about silence. It's why I sit with all my clients in meditation, because when you are in that frame of mind, that is when you are going to have the answers more clearly come through than being in your head. Your head is getting in your way. Your thinking is creating your external world. Every thought creates the picture in your external world, full stop. So if you can get back into the now, in every moment you see your gifts of understanding, not your shadows, then your life will become a lot easier. I can't believe that took me an hour. So, on that note, how are we all doing? Does anyone want to talk about how they're progressing, or where they're not progressing, or remember this call, people in my group, we need to talk. Remember, it's me that shouldn't be talking, and you have all got these throats that are beautiful and can say things that are right to be said at the right time.
I haven't been progressing, I'll be honest, because I've had a bunch of stuff pop up that I've allowed to just blow up. But I was just home for a week coaching, which is really intense anyway, because it's one of me and it's all day long. And by the time I get home, I'm done. So like I automatically know when I have to go home and coach, I'm not going to get a thing accomplished. And then added to that, I triggered migraines. I mean, and I just shut down. So when that happens, I can't focus. And the other thing too is I'm also afraid of making a mistake or missing something or not. Do you know what I mean? So I just back off completely and wait until things can clear up. I'm back in Jersey now so that I can sit down, and I'm actually very excited to be able to sit down and refocus and pull everything back out and just really go through it all. I'm still struggling with how do I do the business? Where am I going to set it up? And I'm trying not to let that overwhelm because it's stuff that's out of my control right now. So I need to refocus on the stuff that I can control.
Yeah.
So I know that I just have to do it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Stacey. Stacey lives it. Her visas are working visas. We were on a really good roll together, and her working visas are stopping her at the moment. Be able to know whether she can do the work she wants to do, which is unfortunate and is out of your control, in the respect that we need to just get manifesting on creating that. But it's no,
Right.
and I understand with the migraines, they are obviously something you're working with as well at the moment, and I've become a bit of an issue. So, but what I would say is, now that they're cleared up, continue as though you are releasing your program. So continue with everything. There's no reason why you can't get people on the list ready to go when you do get accepted to be able to open up a business where you are. So just keep moving forward, because obviously if we stop, what follows in the external world is just going to be everything stopping. If you move forward in everything you're doing, then you're just going to create that energy. And what we need to make sure is your tribe, that you know who your tribe are, you can still create those videos and lives. And remember, manifesting generators, if you are a manifesting generator, you are beautiful on lives. Everyone craves watching you on a live more than writing. So it's about getting out there and showing your face and knowing it's you. This is you and your energy, and your tribe are waiting to watch you. So Stacey, you can still be doing those sort of things, because you will create your tribe that will be ready to go straight away as soon as you're ready to go.
I think I'm afraid of doing that, because what if it, here we go again. What if it doesn't? What if I can't? And then I've set it all up and I can't actually have it happen. And then it's that I'm going to be letting everybody down. Like, that's my biggest concern, is that, you know, we got this far and then all of a sudden the roadblocks are still there.
Okay, so put yourself in the frame of mind, is one of your children is on a waiting list to go into this group that you're doing, and you get a call and say, unfortunately my visa couldn't do it and I can't work out of there. Would you shout at this person? Would you go angry? So what have you got to fear?
Good point. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Okay, fine.
Right. Chris. See how
Stacey,
fear can be turned around.
Stacey, can you go into EMF 24, watch the replay, and look for the awesome people on the call. And when you recognise yourself, go, oh yeah, I've got this. Because you are phenomenal, phenomenal. Nancy, please nod your head. Come on. And we just acknowledge you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Have you got some news today, Chris?
I'm making progress. So this isn't about me, but I have made
it's not. No, it's not about you. This is a spreading your magic call. It's 100% about you.
Okay. Well, I'll say it. I'm in. So there we go. As in, I've decided that I need to follow, and I'm grateful to be guided by Michelle, and I'm just going to embrace it.
I think what he's trying to say is he's become one of my one-to-one clients.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're going to start seeing a different Chris, aren't we, Chris?
Yes. Thank you.
Excellent. So, any other news? Because I know, Sarah, you have been on Nancy. I know, Sarah, you have been on a Finding Your Soul's Purpose call, and you had a few books to write. How are you getting on?
I'm getting on. I feel behind, but I always do. So this was very interesting today. I am writing daily, and I'm really getting very excited about some of the images that my former spouse is illustrating in one of the books.
Wow.
And some of his beautiful drawings are further inspiring the story. So that one is the children's book, and another friend and I are writing a book on feeling great in your body as an older person, and it's really fun because we're lifelong studiers of nutrition and movement, and it's being done with a lot of humor. It's a bit of a mess right now, but it's happening.
Amazing,
So
amazing.
thank you.
And can I invite you, Sarah, to look into what's called Substack? And it's a writer and authors forum that you can start getting people, or inviting people, I should say, to sign up to you as a subscription to read your posts and your blogs and your stories. It's for authors.
I have heard of Substack. Thank you for mentioning it, Michelle.
Yes. So
Awesome.
it's a great way to get your audience growing for when your books are released.
Awesome. Thank you.
Excellent. Helen.
Hello.
Hi.
I am trying to find balance in everything. And I am a manifesting generator, and I have a lot of energy. And I have to get rid of the energy, because if I don't, I have to do physical exercise each day to relax. And if I don't, it's turning into a bad day. It happened today. And the doubt just comes like a flood wave over me and just tips me out of balance.
Okay.
It's mainly that, but I have longer and longer periods when I don't have any doubt, when I'm sure I'm going in the right direction. And I don't expect to just come up at the level. I expect to doubt in between before I, how should you put it, get into a level.
Why are you expecting to do that? Why can't you assume that just the way you reframe things will help you out?
Yes, there is progress, because there is, but I, well, expect it's a natural part of progressing. I think that you are, falling back into the default mode more, not so often. So I'm more out, but it's not quite the roller coaster road like before, but this still occurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a manifesting generator, when they've been doing a lot of work, like heavy study or working, they need to go and exercise to get rid of to keep their movement moving, to keep what they've created, to get that out of their energy. So you do need to do that, but you also have an open route. So you're going to struggle to stay grounded. Okay, so it's about mixing, it's about being aware of those and knowing that once you're aware of those, that you are going to have to do that, but you're going to have to ground yourself as well. But you've got so much energy, you don't have to control your energy as a manifesting generator as such. You just need to know when the right time for that is. So it's about learning about your body rather than controlling it. Okay.
I'm learning.
And also you have a undefined heart center, willpower, so inconsistent motivation, and your self-worth. So some of this talk that you're saying now, and we've mentioned it before, are stories from others around you, potentially your mother's side, your mum, and holding on to her stories. feel you have something to prove. And one of your energies is a line 3 energy, Henning. And because you've been we haven't been on a soul's purpose call, because I hadn't done a soul's purpose by then, but we had a call before then. And your line energy is a 3, which means you're adventurous. You go out and you make the mistakes, and that's what you're here to do, is show the world your mistakes. But tell the world, rather than sitting and procrastinating on them, which will be a shadow.
So it's just making a leap, free fall.
It is making that leap. It is definitely making the leap. And as soon as you do, your energy starts to move. Your energy will move around you, because your body is getting what it wants. It's what it's here for. And you'll have that natural feeling just flowing through. Okay? Well
Thank
done.
you.
You are getting there. Okay, if that is it, then I will finish on the call. For those of you that are still on, I haven't got a song today. Purposely, I haven't got a song. Because I would like to sit within the silence. Was any of you on the morning call of the silence that I did? Anyone?
Yeah, in the weekend.
The one during the week, it was a 5 o'clock in the morning one. Heidi, I think you were on it, wasn't you?
Yeah, last week, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. So I got a lot out of that call, because I could feel the energy from all of you. If anyone is interested, is that something you would like to do every so often? Okay, that's good. Good stuff. Right, but the only problem with that is it's the first thing in the morning call. So Henning, it's an hour ahead for you, so it'd be 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's midnight, I think, for those that are. But I could change it around, and I could do one that's works out for a 5 o'clock in the 6 o'clock in the morning call, which would be no, that'd be too late for me, won't it? I'm putting my services out there when I'm in bed. I'm just getting out of bed I'm going downstairs to do a meditation call for everyone. I'm thinking, like, Michelle, know when to stop. See, we still have these gifts, but we are aware of them now. And then, Chris, once we finish the call, are you able to hang on? I just want to discuss something with
Absolutely.
you. Okay, so